Where'd you go? Hey, Zach. How's it going, buddy? Emerald popped up for a second. Must have had a phone call.
Yeah, I was on the phone for a second.
Okay.
Oh, what a day. How you doing, bro?
Good. How's it going? We already got Zach here, too.
Hey, what's up, Zoom? Another beautiful day in paradise, bro. You know?
So I've decided goji berries don't taste very good.
Right?
Yeah. I'm hoping they taste a lot better when they're made into a paste and dehydrated because right now, fresh, they taste like ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, crush one up, mix it with sugar, make a jam out of it.
Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, until you get your flavor.
Yeah. It tastes a lot like kind of almost like the aftertaste of a tomato.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like not the good part when you're eating it, but the kind of funky aftertaste of a tomato tastes like that.
Oh, I kind of love everything about a tomato, actually.
No, so you might like them.
But yeah, no, I was expecting something sweet, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I was too. Hey,
You sure, you sure they're ripe?
they're red, and supposedly when they're red, that bright orangish red, they're supposed to be ripe. But I'm beginning to wonder if I need to leave them on a little longer.
Right. Probably so. Hey, Canoes, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, I think Russia's finding out, even just with a small dose of U.S. weaponry, that they're not as advanced as they thought they were. And I think it's probably a reality check for China, too, that we're way more developed than they thought we were.
Oh, yeah.
Heck, our biggest problem in Afghanistan and everything is so many administrations before Trump would not let them open up. They wouldn't let the soldiers do what they're trained to do. Then Trump got in. Within months, he allowed them to do what they were trained to do. Within months, they had them on their heels.
Right. So, yeah, I'll tell you what. Man, I'm just like floored. I'm just feeling a little exhausted, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Right now, we're getting hit with people apparently deciding last minute that they want to get cement in before winter.
Oh, wow. Really?
Oh God, we're getting smoked. It went to where there was nothing for the longest time where I wasn't doing much with the cement hauling for got almost a week, and now all of a sudden we're just getting nailed. Actually, all this week didn't do a whole lot, just kind of here and there. Had to get up early, go in and do some, and then kind of worked on some trucks for them and stuff throughout the day. But now, starting tomorrow, we're getting pounded.
Oh wow. Right.
It
Hey,
takes
I just read
a
Ron DeSantis. He sent 2 planes full of illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard.
Did he?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's funny shit, dude.
Well, all these bleeding heart rich people, they're the ones that say we can support them. So send them there so they can support them.
Right. I think that's fucking funny ass shit, dude.
I say start, you know, going into dropping them off at gated communities. Let them live in those fancy gated communities with all the rich people.
Yeah. Yep.
And don't get me wrong, I I'm 100% pro immigration. Just you got to do it legally and be here paying taxes, working, benefiting not only yourself but the nation.
Right. That's the whole deal, man.
Yeah. If it was if it was at a time before there were taxes and before we had infrastructure to maintain and all that stuff to where it didn't matter, then it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But right now, if you're working here earning money, you really need to be paying taxes and not just, and they say, oh, they pay taxes. Like, no, we're not talking about, taxes at the store when you buy your food and stuff. We're talking income taxes, which is the biggest tax everybody pays every year.
Oh yeah. Third of their income. No. Yep.
Because what I pay on groceries and what I pay on, TV and stuff like that is nothing compared to what they take out of my check for income taxes. And for construction, what I have to pay at the end of every year.
Yeah. So yeah. Wow.
I filled up on hamburgers, on homemade buns, and a bunch of cinnamon rolls.
I made spaghetti tonight, and it was good.
Nice. Got a bread machine that'll even make like hamburger buns and stuff like that. So either that or bake them. I don't even buy bread anymore. So much better with homemade bread, and the girls make all sorts of it. So I just get it from them.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, everything, even toast tastes better on homemade bread.
Oh hell yeah, especially sourdough. I love me some sourdough.
Nice.
But yeah, yeah, I haven't made bread in a long time, man.
I couldn't. I don't know. I mean, I can mix it up because I've helped the girls mix it up. Do the stir. Or, you start stirring it and everything, and then but now they've got their blenders, these big old blenders, those KitchenAid blenders, to where you
Yep.
don't need to do it. The bowl just locks in, and they make it like that. But in the past, I've done it, the strong room way, and I could probably mix it up. But how it's got to be rise to a certain point, and they all know when to bake it. And
Right. No, I had a mixer that did the bread thing. It needed it and stuff like that for me.
yeah, yeah, that's what theirs does. It's got the mixer and then the kneader, and then there's one thing that kind of,
Dough
once you
hook.
get it done, they can also mix in for like sweetbread, mix in different things for it. And it
Yep.
doesn't unfluff it.
Yeah, dough hook.
Yeah. Yep. And man, some of those mixers, they are potent. That bowl has to lock in because you can't hold that bowl.
No.
And the mixers they've got, they're kind of cool. Mom's got one, and then my sisters all have one. But there's little things that you can pull up the top and put attachments on it, like meat grinders and all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah. Yep. Those KitchenAids are very useful.
Yep, and they're not bad. You can excuse me, you could get refurbished ones for like $250, which for what they do, they save you that money in a year.
Oh yeah. Because you ain't got to buy all those different machines.
Yep, yep. And you don't have to kill your arms mixing that stuff and, like you say, kneading it. And plus, just on food, I mean, all you're doing is buying the flour, the yeast, and I don't know what else they put in it. Some different types, they put different things in. They put egg in some and stuff like that. But I don't know what the different types are. I don't understand those. Those are some serious crickets.
I know, right?
Your Area 51 video? All right, on Zach. I'll save it real quick. There we go. Oh, shush. My dog's freaking out. She hears the crickets looking around everywhere.
That's awesome.
They're not here, Marty. They're not here. You can't go chase crickets. Nope. I'll be right back. I think I got to let her out. I'll be right back.
Okay. That's Princess in the background. So, fire in the bowl, my friends. Fire in the bowl. Hold on a second. I gotta go call Princess. She's going too far.
Okay, I'm back. I had to bribe her with a slice of cheese to get her back in. She wouldn't stick around outside. been making homemade tortilla chips, just buying either the flour or the corn tortillas and deep frying them. And I swear it's like puppy dog crack. These dogs love those things. Oh, because some people are mad.
What's that?
That gas place, some people call, or someone call the game the lane, or some people are mad because they're not included anymore.
Right, they've been excluded. Yeah. Yeah, they're just upset because they, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And they're jealous. That's okay. I'll get over it.
Yeah. I haven't lost any sleep.
No. Yeah, we'll get over it.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, maybe eventually they'll grow up.
Yeah. Oh, doubt that. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit long in the day for them, yeah.
Yeah. I gave it many years to see if some of the people would grow up, and I just had to like I've said in the past, I've had to contact my inner dawn. My inner dawn.
Summon your inner dawn, huh?
Mm-hmm. There you go. Summon my inner dawn.
Right. So, yeah, that's the
There you
case.
go.
Hey, Bill. Welcome in, brother. Grab a link. Come on up.
I've this the people I've been kind of helping that keep their thing afloat. That the environment's changing a little because I let them know I'm not going to be able to keep doing it. That that I'm going to get into a different career that's not quite so difficult on the back. So the environment's changing a little bit. Kind of sucks. Sometimes people, no matter how much you help them out, they want more and more, and then when you're not going to be able to give them more, then they kind of sometimes attitudes change.
Right.
Is what it is. It's just like I'm still not going to lose any sleep.
Right. Yeah. No.
It might get deep. This is on you, not on me. So yeah, still there because nice to have a little extra added income, but it's not a necessity. So a railroad close. Oh, our railroad is running.
Hey, goes.
Emerald's hitting the strong weed tonight.
Train wreck. Yeah.
Whoa, it expanded, man.
It did something like that. Yep.
Oh, my God.
Mosquitoes are out tonight. Because of the rain. It triggered something. They're like doing mating dances and shit on my body.
Oh, a strike.
Mm.
How's it going? Singularity?
Good. How are you, Bill?
Terrible.
Hey, you're still kicking and able to say it, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm doing good, thanks.
Good. Right on.
Yeah, I'm just grateful to be here, be alive.
Yep,
Beautiful thing.
it is quite the gift. No matter what, sometimes excuse me, get a little hard, but all in all, man, this is an amazing thing.
Yep, because a dead soldier ain't no good to anybody.
Right. Right.
That's true.
Wow, I got to close out 4 freaking things here. Hmm, that one. I don't know. StreamYard's weird. Like, I had to come in through YouTube. I couldn't come in through Twitch. So,
Yeah, yeah. There's several people that are having that kind of issue.
yep.
How cool is that? I haven't seen Susan for a while. You mean MAGA Susan, right? MAGA?
Hey, Canoes. What's up, my brother?
You know, we've got fantastic rain. We had .2 something inches.
Nice.
No, not exactly what we need, but
Hey,
I'll
something.
take anything.
Yep. Starting tomorrow afternoon through Friday and Saturday, we're supposed to have rain off and on throughout the day. It's supposed to be cloudy all day and rainy.
Yep, it's that weather band coming up out of San Diego from that hurricane they had.
Mm-hmm. It's pushing across southern and then pushing up on each side of the mountains.
Yeah, yeah, they were having bad flash floods in Arizona, southern Utah. Yeah, it actually they said it's starting to put water back into the uh, Salton Sea.
Nice. That's a plus.
Oh yeah,
You look at current satellite pictures, it was looking a little depressing.
yeah. A lot of those canyons that got burned out, they were black. The canyons were black, and the flash floods actually were kind of cleaning them out.
Yep. That's one thing I'll give Colorado. They finally got it through their heads after we got it. Oh God, I'd say it was probably about 10 or 12 years ago. The mountains in Colorado, I mean, they're burning up everywhere. Bad. I mean, worse than usual. I mean, we're losing millions of acres over a couple of years. And they finally got the hint that they have to clean the dead wood out.
So this guy couldn't figure out that was reporting on it, and he's showing it. And he's like, "The water's just foaming. I don't understand." I do. Uh, ash is what you ash and charcoal is what you use to make lye. So it was, they were getting suds in the ravines and everything in California, down in San Diego. There, I mean, it was foaming. It was foaming like a freaking, somebody dumped truckloads of shampoo in there or something. And that's what happens when you get ash and charcoal is you get lye, and lye is the ingredient for soap.
It's one of the things for homemade laundry soap. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
uh, I started making my own, and it actually my clothes last longer.
Well, um, all you need is oil or fat and lye,
Um,
and you can make soap.
I use borax, lye, uh, powder detergent, and then these little stain remover bars. I chop those up in an old blender I got. Put those in there, and then some lavender oil, and works really good. Takes grease out really well. That borax in it
You
really takes
try
grease.
you try dried fennel in your soap,
Uh, I
and
haven't.
it smells just like soap. It smells like the stuff you buy from the store.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
it's got that licorice smell to it. It's so good.
The
So
actually,
ca-
oh my bad.
Cast Castile soap is made out of olive oil.
Oh, nice,
It's olive oil and lye. That's the only ingredients. And then for
nice.
fragrance, you add whatever herbs you want.
And that's the expensive part. I know because I just put a few drops in each load. I put a few drops of lavender oil in it. Lavender oil is friggin' expensive.
Yeah, but it definitely adds something nice so you don't stank.
Yeah, yeah.
We actually
I mean,
could
you could,
make all if you had the molds or if you had the molds or you could just cut it, with like a cleaver or something, you could make all your own soap. There are
and
people that are doing it.
it's healthier for your skin too because there's so many perfumes and chemicals in your regular soap.
Right. No, I'll tell you what's in it. What's in like a lot of the store bought soap is laureth sulfate,
Yeah,
and it's in shampoos and everything. You know what that is?
I don't.
It,
I know it can cause baldness. I know that.
it does. It is industrial degreaser,
Oh wow.
and they put
Yep.
that in Irish Spring and in Coast and all those soaps, and that's why a lot of people will buy Ivory because it doesn't have that in it.
Right. I need to start making my own bar soap because I buy some of the all natural bar soap right now, and it is expensive. It's like four something for.
Make straight out lard soap.
Yeah.
You know, hillbillies up in Appalachia, that's what they wash their clothes with and everything, and it
Yeah.
works. It works.
Well, there's so many natural things, and a lot of it you don't even have to cook. A lot of it you just put the dry ingredients together, and you can make shampoos. You can make everything.
Fells Naphtha soap
That's
has
that's
been
the Yep.
that's
That's
been
the bars.
around. It's been around since the 1800s,
Hmm.
and people have washed clothes with it. They got rid of poison oak and poison ivy with it. Fells Naphtha soap.
I get the naphtha bars and grind it up in a blender, in an old blender, and that's what I put in with my detergent, and it gets grease out like you would not believe, along with the borax. You're
You know
working
what
on
I
a
do?
car or something, get oil on you, it'll knock it out. Even transmission fluid, it'll get out.
I just take a pocket knife and I start shaving it, and it comes off in like it's all flaky like detergent powder,
Right.
just with
I
a
know a
pocket
lot of
knife.
people use like cheese graters. I was just too lazy.
You don't need to. Just take your pocket knife or a kitchen
Right.
knife and start shaving it off in your freaking detergent. And it's cheap, just as an
Yep.
additive. It's a booster, and then you
Yeah.
can take the Fells Naphtha soap and like uh, if you got stains in your clothes or whatever, you just you get your clothes wet, right? You get the shirt wet, whatever it's got stains. It'll take those stains out.
Yep.
It's
You just
old
wipe it
school.
on.
I was asking my mom about it. She was like, I use Fells Naphtha soap. I said, Mom, this wasn't long ago. I said, Mom, what do I do to get like yellow stains on white shirts and stuff out? And she said, Oh, use Fells naphtha. So I'm like, after she said that, I did. I I had a bunch of it,
Yep. And it's
and
cheap.
it's cheap. And I got the clothes wet, and I just started rubbing it on whatever stains it was, like sweat stains or anything like that on my ball caps. All my ball caps get all salt stained and everything,
Yeah.
and yeah, and they get yellowed and all that. I use that,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you, I used to use whisk and all that other stuff. Fells naphtha works way better.
Yeah. Uh, $30 worth of stuff, and I basically got almost a year's worth of laundry detergent.
Right on.
So I mean, I can, and that's doing at least one load a day
Yep. But
because
if
that's
if you
my bad.
Google it or YouTube it, try Googling it and YouTubing it, and see what people say the difference uses for Fells naphtha. You're
Yeah,
gonna find all kinds of stuff from getting rid of rodents,
nice.
everything. Yeah, just take your pocket knife and spread some Fells naphtha dust around, and the freaking mice will stay away.
Nice. Well, and it's that stuff like when you use a borax, the powder, old school. It's a I can't remember. It's not a detergent. It's something that I
I
get. I'd
use
have to check
Boraxo.
it. But
You talking about Boraxo?
yep, the two
Oh yeah.
mules. Yep,
Yep.
yep. I
Uh,
use it
the,
in there, and I only have to use a tablespoon. Put it
no,
in my wash machine, and it's
it's a
funny because they tell you, oh, you shouldn't use that in the newer front loads. It works fine.
yeah, it's a laundry detergent booster.
Yep,
It'll make your clothes clean.
and
Yeah,
it
I'm a
makes them
fan of that.
last a long time.
When I was a kid in California, in school, like uh, we had these big places where we all the kids would go and wash their hands, and there was this little dispenser that had Boraxo in it, and you
Oh,
just
yeah.
put a little Boraxo in the palm of your hand, and you step on this thing with your foot, and it comes out like a sprinkler all the way around the entire
The
wash
water fountain.
basin.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
We had those when I was in like
Did
second
you have
grade.
it?
Yep.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And
And they had the
actually, yep,
because
through third grade.
they knew it was non-toxic and stuff, and
Yep.
that's why they put it in those. They actually
Yep.
cared about kids back then.
And then they built, when I went into fourth grade, they built the new school. They got rid of those type of wash basins, and they got rid of the little powder dispensers, and they put those dispensers where you push on it and got the ooze.
And the thing of it is, Boraxo will not harm the environment.
Yeah. Yeah. It can go straight into the, yeah. Yep. A lot of that stuff like that, even like with the all natural laundry detergents and everything, a lot of people will do the gray water after do their laundry. They'll like water their trees and flowers and stuff with that gray water, and it's absolutely zero harmful to, and it actually benefits the soil. Some of it.
It does. It's the phosphates.
Yep. Yep. It leaves the it leaves a lot of the good insects alone, but gets rid of a lot of the mites that you don't want.
Well, actually, it makes it so that the roots will absorb the water. It
Opens up
does.
the, yep.
It does something. Uh, my father-in-law, well, they lived on, they had a well and a drain field, and they save all their white water because they didn't want it going in the oh, what do you call it, the not the well, I no, he didn't have a drain field. He had to get the septic tank pumped, and they didn't want the white water going in the septic tank because they wanted to reuse it, and he used it in all his crops and everything. So that'd be bath water, dishwater, your washing machine, and he'd reuse it for his corn. I was telling Wiz, he had corn, freaking about 12 feet high stalks of corn.
Yeah.
He knew
And
how to grow some corn now.
I've never known anybody to use it like on the crops, but I mean, it could be done. But I've seen a lot of people use it on like their bushes and flowers and trees and stuff.
Yeah.
And it does good because I mean, otherwise they just go into the septic tank and run off either off one of the drain lines or get sucked out and disposed of. So
Yeah, it won't
yeah,
hurt
no,
night crawlers. It won't hurt the night crawlers.
no, or even the regular earthworms, it won't hurt them, but it'll get to cutworms. Something about the fatty tissue of cutworms it'll get rid of them. A lot of it will.
Well, you want to get rid of them.
Yep, exactly. And then the same thing with the mites. It'll get rid of them. Uh, I don't use any like on my fruit trees and stuff. I don't use any of the chemicals they sell to protect them. I just spray them down with Dawn dish detergent, about a teaspoon of that mixed in a bottle of water, one of the spray bottles, and then I'll spray them down with it. When they get bigger, I'll use a weed sprayer to mix it a little, bigger portion. And
Are you
spray 'em
talking
with
about
that.
aphids?
Yeah, to make sure that they don't get into the fruit early, into the buds. Yep, the
Oh,
aphids.
yeah, wizard.
Otherwise, oh, my bad.
No, wizard said to use that Dawn detergent and
Beer.
beer. Yeah.
Yep. Dawn detergent and beer and fish emulsion.
Fish emulsion.
Yep. You want big ass tomatoes? You want cherry tomatoes the size of golf balls? I'm telling you, brother. A fucking beer to a gallon. You take a gallon of water and get 1 gallon watering can or whatever. You put a beer to that gallon, a 12-ounce beer. You put about 2-3 ounces of the Dawn dish detergent, and then about 2-3 ounces of fish emulsion. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, I did that. Yep.
Fish emulsion is like steroids for plants.
Well, it's
Yes.
only 1-1-1. It's a very light kind of fertilizer, actually.
Right. Yep.
But
Won't burn anything.
right. Oh, the other thing I do is I'll put fresh tea bags. I'll open up a box of tea bags and I'll put one next to every plant, and I do that every other month. And then I sprinkle eggshells and cover it up with wood mulch chips, wood mulch.
Nice.
If you saw my garden, you'd see how many eggshells I got in it. I got tons of eggshells in there.
Nice.
Yep. And I mash them till they're fine, like a dust almost.
Yep.
And I mix it with coffee grounds, tea, because I drink tea and coffee.
Right. That's very good. Yep. Coffee grounds. If I drink coffee, I'd be putting coffee grounds in there. But I put them so, I just got to the point I don't drink enough tea for the garden that I'm growing. So I just started opening up a box of tea bags, and I'll put one tea bag next to every plant. And then sprinkle the shit out of the eggshells, cover it up with mulch, and water it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, I mean, it proves the Native Americans knew what they were doing. Because remember, they used to planting the corn. They used to take chunks of fish and put it by, the leftover, like whatever from the fish, and they put it by the seed.
Well, I thought they buried a whole fish under there.
That's what I was always taught too. But then I talked to a Native American guy, and he was a historian. He said he said generally it wasn't like the whole fish. he said it was the leftover parts. He said they didn't really, they like what they could, they would eat as much as they could if they caught it, and then it was still a lot of the fish, but they would still, eat
meat
some of the fish, and then
Yeah, they cut the meat off of it and throw it in there.
right, and it was still a lot of the good fertilizer stuff they put on there. So, but and that was his perspective. That's what he was taught growing up. So
that's what I'm gonna do when I catch a carp. I'm just gonna take the machete and chop it up and put pieces under every part of my plants.
probably grow like crazy.
Yep. All those fish you throw back that you don't want to keep.
Yep.
About. Yep.
They
Like those-
mix it in with the soil and then plant it in there, and yeah,
Like those mud
Yes.
cats and stuff.
Wow. Gar, dogfish.
Bullheads. Chub.
I got a cousin. He goes. We used to do. I haven't for years, but on the carp runs, they used to get overrun with carp in some of our lakes around here. Some of the reservoirs for irrigation reservoirs, they get overrun with carp, and they'd have carp shoots, and we'd go in there with a bow with a reel on it, and we'd hunt carp. And he loved the taste of carp. He'd cook them in butter, and he loved carp.
Yeah, I was told we can bow hunt for carp anywhere we want in my state. They're trash.
They get out of control quick.
Yeah, they do.
And
Usually
when they
when
do, oh, my bad.
Go ahead.
When they do, they kill off the other fish because they'll eat all the eggs and smaller fish and stuff.
Well, they also add a lot of funk to they poop a lot, and they ruin waterways, with I don't know what's coming out of them, if it's uric acid or what, but they turn a nice lake into just a mossy, mucky lake, once you get carp in them.
And if they keep just enough in there, it'll actually keep it clean. It'll keep it cleaner. That's why they add them. But when there gets to be too many, it goes completely the opposite real quick.
Well, you know what the thinking was in the 1800s when they brought them over? What we have here is what they call German carp. And they brought them over because they wanted to be able to, they brought them over, live carp over here, and got them established in lakes and rivers and everything, thinking they were doing good, because if they did that, we would have a constant food supply. We live in a high desert. I mean, you're actually a little higher than me. I thought you were lower than me, but you're higher than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I figured you were higher up too.
I'm only like 4,200 feet.
Oh, yep. I'm a good at least 400, if not, because I think we're at 4820. No. We're at 4620, I think. Heck, I don't. I'll check the elevation on the sign tomorrow.
I thought my elevation was higher than that, but it's not. But
Nice.
it varies. I mean, it depends on where you're, checking it. Because I mean, a lot of hills, a lot of mountains. I can drive 1 mile and be like 5,300 feet.
Oh, yeah.
So
within a mile and a half, I'm over a mile high. Or I'm not by a mile. In an hour and a half, I'm over a mile high.
yeah. So anyway, but the elevation that I'm at, I can go north or south of me, and the elevation will be higher. I'm only like 4,200 feet, 42 something.
So you're in a valley.
I'm in a valley. I'm in the foothills of the Wasatch Mountains.
Nice.
This all used to be lake bed.
Yep,
Well,
millions of years ago.
it was actually not lake bed, but an inland sea. It was the largest inland sea in the world, in the all of North America,
Nice.
and now it's drying up. It's almost uh, it's almost a puddle now.
Yeah. Well, that's where
But
the
it will
Great
come
Salt Lake
back.
comes from, isn't it?
The seagulls are still here. It will come back. Otherwise, the seagulls would have left a long time ago.
It's if you think about it, it's amazing it's lasted as long as it is with the elevation push and everything for a seed. I mean, that's because that's basically where the Great Salt Lake came from, right? It's a remainder of an inland sea.
Yes, it was an inland sea. It was. They thought it was the ocean when they found it. They thought they had reached the ocean.
Nice.
The salt content is higher than the ocean salt content.
Yep. It's concentrated. It's basically a large sea, and all the salts kept staying wet and still going to the center. So a lot of the salt was flowing with the water in, but a lot of the water was evaporating off, and it just kept getting thicker and thicker. It's kind of cool to go over the history of that.
Oh my gosh. Zoom is in Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, he's double tasking.
I think he wants to know where his package is.
Yeah, he is excited about that package.
Oh yeah. I don't blame him. He's looking for Don.
If that's what Don does when he goes and visits a store, I need Don to go visit like a Hummer dealership for me.
Yeah.
I'd like an H1 Hummer. One of the new upgraded ones with the Duramax in it. The Alphas.
Nothing big.
Who doesn't want a Hummer?
Oh, have you seen those new upgraded ones? Those things are pumping out like the base package 6.6 liter Duramax are putting in them is 600 horsepower. You can get them all the way up to 800 horsepower.
You know what? I don't want a new Hummer. I don't want a new. I would take a new Land Cruiser, but I don't want a Hummer. I'd like one, but really, what I'm looking for is a Jeep. I want a Jeep Wrangler, a two-door Jeep Wrangler, because of the because it's such a short wheelbase. You cannot get stuck in it.
Yep. That a lot of people around here now are getting the 4 doors, and it baffles me. It's like you're missing the concept of a Jeep rolling in the short base.
Yeah, what you really want is a Hummer, but you decided to go with the Jeep because it kind of looks like a Hummer, but it's not quite there.
Yep. And I shouldn't say new Hummers because the new Alphas they're the older ones, because I think they stopped making them in 2006. They're the older ones. They're just refitted with the Duramax and they're completely redone.
But you know what? So, I might wind up, because of the price point and everything, I might wind up getting a Cherokee, a 1990s Cherokee. I'm noticing. Oh, here's some good news. I am noticing used car prices are dropping, and they're going to continue to drop.
Nice, because they're ridiculous right now.
Scotty Kilmer has a channel, and he's like been a mechanic his entire life. The guy knows his stuff, and he's saying that they're going to start dropping, and there's a bunch of reasons for it. In my estimation, not anything what he said, but first of all, California is going to be switching to e-cars.
Yeah.
So all these other cars are going to get sold, and they're going to wind up in other states because nobody's. Yeah, they're. So all the gasoline cars, they're going to wind up in other states. That means mine and yours. And
Well, yours.
the price is going to be dirt cheap. And also, there's a lot of people that are dying off right now. So they're having estate auctions all over the place. There's going to be a lot of cars out in circulation, and I feel sorry for the used car dealerships because they're not going to go through their circuit where they're going to get a cut off of it. It's all going to be private sales.
The
Car dealerships are going to be toast.
Before too long, you're gonna see Eastern Colorado trying to join Wyoming again because the Front Range is really pushing for all this California type stuff.
Yep.
To start, and they're Colorado, the Eastern Plains out here. We can't do electric vehicles. It won't work in this rural.
I figured it out. Every time you see somebody with a mask, you got to wonder if they're a Californian. Because they're still wearing masks in California. Nowhere else. And it's only the newbies that are showing up that are wearing masks.
Yep.
It's like, get the fuck out of my state.
Yeah.
Get out of my state, Go. We don't want you.
We had Colorado got real popular in the mid 2000s, all the way up into the teens, with Hollywood. So Hollywood was doing a lot of stuff based on Colorado. Well, it got Colorado real popular with West Coast people, and they started moving here. The problem is they didn't realize how harsh the winters get in Colorado. So a lot of them get here and they're ticked off.
But the people with masks watch and look at their car when they get in their car in a parking lot or whatever, see if it doesn't have California plates. Because that's the only people around here that are wearing masks.
I wouldn't doubt it. I still occasionally see a person in a vehicle on their own driving through, and they're not from this area. They're driving through on their own on the interstate and have a mask on.
Yep.
I don't know what they think they're going to catch out there on their own, but I guess.
That mask shit went away a long time ago.
Yeah.
But not in California.
Yeah. When I was doing construction, there was some jobs I took that were in facilities there was a lot of people around, and we wore masks. They asked us to, we did. It's their property. It's like, yeah, we'll put them on to do that, but don't expect to see us downtown with our mask on.
Nope. Well, I hear crickets.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I think Emerald's feeding them.
Probably somehow. I don't know. Maybe it's the off-fall from my garden or some shit.
I'm not having crickets tonight. Probably because of the rain and the moisture. I don't know. The temperature, we're in the 70s right now, so.
I haven't heard crickets since I moved to town.
It's beautiful. It's perfect temperature right now. Everything. It's beautiful.
It is.
Crickets used to put me to sleep. That's why when I hear the crickets on your guys' thing, I'm like, oh, this is killing me.
I know. It really does. Yep. It really does put me to sleep. Yep.
Almost
That's
like
right.
music.
Platoon.
It's when
Platoon is right. It's because they were brainwashed.
Right.
about the masks.
What pisses me off is when the whippoorwills come in. And they'll sit in a tree for about half an hour and they'll whippoorwill. And they're loud as fuck.
I've had a lot of hawks here. Must be the
My
squirrels.
my yard, when the fruit tree or all the like the raspberries and the grapes and everything, when that stuff starts ripening, sounds like a freaking bird sanctuary in my backyard. It'll drive you nuts. I like birds, don't get me wrong, but when it's solid birds chirping and some of them are really loud and obnoxious,
Time to break out the pellet gun.
um, I got a little, it's a wind tunnel little thing that just kind of pops every so often. It'll scare them away. And it's been working pretty good. It's just this little thing. Uh, I think it's probably, I don't know, probably 6 inches tall, about 3 inches wide, and maybe 8 inches long. And you plug it in, it builds up air every so often and just kind of pops and releases it. And it'll shut everything up. Drive the dogs around the neighborhood wild though, because you can't hear it very well, but the dogs can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't let it go overnight. Otherwise, the dogs all around town will be howling.
Right.
I wouldn't be terribly popular.
I don't have crickets, but I damn sure got mosquitoes right now. I don't know why mosquitoes like me.
Lack of B12, brother.
Yeah, I haven't taken my B12, come to think of it.
You need to mass dose it for 3 days. The mosquitoes won't touch you after that. They won't even, you're poison to them.
What I need is some liver. It's tons of B12 and B6 in it.
So you
No
guys
way.
grew up in the country. You guys know what liver and onions is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We used to have that a lot.
They used to give it to people in rest homes.
Really?
Yeah, it helps prevent Alzheimer's.
Oh, nice. Well, I shouldn't have to worry about it then, because as a kid, man, that was, we raised, when you raise cattle and pork and whatever, you keep a lot as much as you can. So there's some livers here and there.
The old people used to eat chicken livers. And chicken livers have a bunch of B vitamins far beyond just B12. They were, that's where they got B complex from. For a long time, you used to eat B complex pills, and they tasted like liver. They were chewables.
Nice.
You might still be able to get them. B complex chewables.
I know at some of the delis around here and some of the grocery stores, you can buy the chicken gizzards and chicken livers that are like breaded and fried.
Chicken livers.
Yep.
Turkey livers and chicken livers have the highest levels of B12 and B vitamins of any food you can get.
And a crap load of iron.
A lot of iron, protein.
Yep.
Very, very healthy. But if you're going to do it, you shouldn't eat liver more than twice a week. You want to eat it about twice a week, no more than that, because I guess it's uric acid or something build up. So, got to be careful. especially if you're prone to gout. Gout. If you have gout, or you have people that have gout in your family, stay away from that kind of thing, like liverwurst and any liver stuff, because it will cause gout.
It's funny because I actually like liver nuggets. It wasn't a punishment for for me or anything. I still like it occasionally, and but I can't stand liverwurst. I don't know why. I just can't stand liverwurst.
Well, liverwurst is pork liver. Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's maybe that's the difference. And most of it was the cow liver that we had. Liver nuggets.
But I like a good liver steak. It's a steak.
You can have mine.
I've
That's
eaten cow
fine.
tongue before too, though.
So have I.
Cow tongue, really not bad.
Yeah,
I like it.
and Rocky Mountain oysters.
No, you can have all those.
I didn't like it at first. My mom made cow tongue sandwiches. She'd send me to school with a tongue sandwich.
That-
She,
If they're cooked right, they're really tender. Actually,
they are.
Well, once you peel the tongue skin off,
The skin is the good part.
no, that's the chew part. That's not the good part. You can chew on it, I guess, but I cut it off. If you put it on a sandwich, you got to cut the actual skin of the tongue off.
Yeah, it's got little veins in it. It's definitely, it's got some gristle. It's got some gristle. It is chewy, but it's good for you.
if,
That
if
gristle
it
is good
makes
for you.
if it makes you feel any better, Emerald, I can't stand Rocky Mountain oysters because I, growing up, I was out there when we cut them and branded them. So anytime anybody even brings up eating Rocky Mountain oysters, I'll take the chicken strips because I'll just sit there and remember those smells of branding. And after we cut them, the oil that you pump in there, and it just, yeah, all that comes up. I'm like, nope, not eating them. I had to cut those all the time. So no way.
Wow.
I never had beef Rocky Mountain oysters. I only had sheep ones.
Oh,
I mean, you could buy a pack of Rocky Mountain oysters that were sheep bar balls.
yeah. I tried sheep one time, and it was in a blood gravy, and it wasn't bad. With that blood gravy. Speaking of liver, that almost made it the outside taste like that, but they were chewy and they popped, and the texture I didn't like.
Yeah, they got a little snap to them.
Yeah, and that just did it for me. I made it through a couple of them, and I was done.
Well, I'm thinking maybe that's what made me so virile. I ate my share of deep fried Rocky Mountain oysters that were sheep ones. Yeah. But I grew up on that. I cut my teeth as a baby on mutton, pureed mutton. My dad was a butcher. And so he pureed mutton and he'd put peas in it and stuff like that. So it'd be like lamb and peas, just like the stuff you get from the Gerber baby food jar. That was my
Dude,
first food.
we still get together once a year and make porridge. It's not the oatmeal type porridge. Type of porridge we make is it's a pasty, really thick, and then you fry it like a pancake and eat it with syrup on it. But we get together once a year, and within my family, that's like a delicacy. I mean, that's, yeah, good stuff. And it's made out of the jowl meat off the pig, off the jaw meat, the real rich meat.
Yeah.
You can mess with people because they see the jawbone when you're getting ready to make. You can tell them, oh yeah, it's brains, eyeballs, stuff like. It's not really. It's not head cheese. It's just the jowl meat. But you can really mess with some people after they start eating it. It's definitely a unique flavor, though. Porridge. There's nothing else that tastes like it. It's good stuff, though. I've never had the oatmeal type porridge, the type that you see like in the stories and stuff like that, and I've never had that. I'll be honest, I don't even know if that's a real porridge because porridge, how I know it, is not made like that or eaten like that. But yeah, around here, oyster fries, Rocky Mountain oyster fries are still a big deal.
That's so fucked up, dude. I've never had them. No.
I go to them, but I have the chicken strips. I've eaten them before. Not a real big fan. They're not bad. I just, like I say, I start remembering all the branding smells and the
No,
oil. And,
I like frog legs.
what's that?
Frog legs. Big old frog legs.
Seriously. So branding, the smell of branding bothers you?
Man, I did it for so many years. Just the burnt hair and burnt flesh. It just got to where it just, yeah. When I got out of school, I was so ready to get away from the ranch. I wanted, yeah. But I mean, I was out there from the time I was knee high, with my dad. I was the only son. So I was out there doing that stuff. 100-degree days, branding and cutting. And, I still and I liked, cut and being out there on the horses and bringing them in. It was just all the other stuff that went with it. And by the end of, 100-degree day, you're sweating. You're right there with that puff of smoke when you brand them, and it comes back on you. So you smell like it. And it just, yeah, after 14, 15 hours of that, just,
You get 100 of them in a day.
yeah. And
it really never
days,
affected me like that.
really.
No. It actually, it's got a nostalgic smell to me.
Oh, not me. I mean, in a way, it brings back some good memories, but that just, when I start remembering the smell, it's just like, it sickens me.
It's a smell of freedom. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy.
But it's like okay, I'm out of that environment right now. And when I get out, near dairy farms and everything, everybody's like, "Oh, what's that fucking smell?" And I go by it, and it's like ambrosia. I love the smell. I love the smell. I love the smell. Sheep shit, horse shit, cow shit. I feel like I'm back to normal again or something. It's I can't explain it.
I remember riding down the highway with a bunch of friends in the car, man. And this was when I was younger. And I was turning around because I knew the smell of weed. And I was turning around and we hit a part in the road where somebody hit a skunk or something and you could smell it. And I'm like, oh, that smells good. And then, you're gross. I was like, well, okay.
Even a skunk off in the distance. I mean, I don't like to be up near them, but man, I just smell a skunk, driving on the highway or whatever. It's like, I kind of like that smell. I don't know why.
It's weed, man. Fire in the motherfucking bowl.
It's not weed. It's skunk. Skunk is skunk. I know there's some skunky weed out there. Yeah.
Yeah. It smells like weed. Fire in the bowl.
Must be why I don't like weed, because as a kid I got sprayed by a skunk. So we're out messing around by some hay bales and making a hay bale fort, and we picked some up, and there was a skunk in there, nailed 4 of us. And it just, right there by. I just remember it smelled like literally burning rubber at first. God, we
Well,
were in so much trouble. We weren't allowed in the house. We had to sit outside. We had a bunch of canned tomatoes. We had to rub them all over us and then get hosed down. Had to burn our clothes.
yeah.
I was going to say take a bath in tomato juice.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. It was canned tomatoes, and we had to rub those all over us real good. For a long time, we still smelled out. Thank God it was during the summer and we didn't have to go to school for several months. Yeah, my mom was not impressed. We weren't allowed in the house until that night.
So, did you ever go swimming in an irrigation canal?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever get covered in leeches?
Oh, I've had some serious, yeah. Yep. Just peel them off. And then you end up with a little red pock mark. Basically a little hickey, it looks like.
I really didn't mind, you know. Still, I went back and went swimming again. It
We
just
had
sucks. It sucks when they get up inside your pants and you don't realize you got them, and you're like in the inside of your thigh. There's a freaking leech there.
Yep.
Uh,
We
near your personal area.
Yep.
Not good.
Oh, they'll get on that personal area too. They're not picky. They don't mind. They're not shy.
Yeah, I never had them get that far up there, but yeah.
Yeah. Most of the leeches we had in the pond behind my house were tiny little 3/4 inch long ones.
Well, these were big bastards.
Yeah, there was when we went to the mountains, we go swimming a couple times in some of that really cold water, and you want to talk about some big ass leeches. I mean, the longest one I had on me is probably about 3 inches. Some of those things were swimming across right up by the beach area, and I mean, some of those things were, God, I swear, a foot long. I mean, they probably weren't, but yeah, they looked massive.
Yeah, they don't do any harm.
They just eat a little blood. I've never had one on long enough that actually I don't think it's true blood though, because they always just left the little hickey, the little pock mark.
It's good for you.
Yep. And I don't believe they don't like bite or anything. They just keep suction against it until it starts, basically you start losing blood through the skin.
Well, they got a way of getting rid of pain. If you got arthritis or something like that, get leeches put on you and it anesthetizes the area.
Infection too.
Huh?
Infection too.
Don't know about that, but they like that good blood, and when they anesthetize the area where they bite, where they latch onto, and then they also have an anticoagulant, so that when they start sucking on you, they can get their fill of blood, right?
Yeah.
Well, that anticoagulant helps to get blood flow into the area of that part of your body. There was a science to it when they did it in the Middle Ages, and now they just call it medieval craziness. But they're going back to that. They're using leeches again in medicine.
Oh, now, here's a crazier one for you. And I didn't realize this till recently, but in real bad cases of if somebody gets a gangrene or something like that in a wound, like if it's in their leg, they still use maggots.
Yeah.
Of course they're clinically clean, but they still use maggots to eat away the dead flesh, and they'll pack them in there and then wrap it. That's just crazy.
Yep, I heard about that.
I had no idea. You think 2022, and it's still, for really bad things like that, try to keep them from losing a leg or something.
The
It's still
Cherokee,
pretty
the
common.
Cherokee Indians did it. They did it for ear infection. They put a maggot in your ear. The
Oh wow!
maggot would go in and eat all the ear infection, and then it would come out a fly.
Oh wow!
Can you imagine? I'd be going crazy if I felt something moving around in my freaking ear.
Imagine if they packed them into your leg and you could feel that movement. 'Cause, they deaden it, but you're still gonna feel movement in there. Ugh.
Fire in the bowl.
But yeah, you're right. Those maggots will eat all the infection, and
Yep.
then when they're done, when they gorge themselves, they actually will change into a fly and go out of your body.
Nice.
And then your body will heal up, and there won't even be a scar.
Nice. Well, and the only reason I know of it is because there's a small town around here, a lady I did some work for, and don't think that it was like some lady that was. I mean, this is a very rich, very very wealthy lady, but she had diabetes, so infection set in real quick, and she had
Yeah.
a small cut on her leg. Didn't think much of it. To save her leg, that's what they did, and they ate out a place about the size of a, oh god, and not quite a baseball, but uh, bigger than a golf ball, like maybe a tennis ball, about something that size, out of her leg.
That's Native Americans that taught us that.
Yeah, nice.
It's the Indians.
Yeah,
Medicine man knew stuff. Didn't learn it from Western science. That's for damn sure.
yeah. Well, and I knew diabetics had to be real careful if they got any type of cut, but man, I didn't realize how intense it could get because even a paper cut can turn really bad real quick with a diabetic. I had no idea it was that bad.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah. Now
Oh,
hers was more than a paper cut because she was doing some painting and she fell off the ladder and it kind of gashed her. And she went in, got it stitched up and everything, and they were keeping a close eye on it, but it turned real quick.
well, we know blood flow is everything, and to for your body to heal, it knows what to do if you get the blood flow to the area.
Yeah,
So, heat, using heat, or uh, anything that will stimulate blood flow, and it'll help the area to heal. We need to know these kind of things. You know, we need to know it. We need to go back to the real medicine. Wizard, you're awfully quiet.
I know. I was just sitting here thinking, I'm stoned.
actually.
Stoned.
I'm actually gonna have to log off here in a couple of minutes. I gotta crash. I gotta be up at 4:30 again.
What's with these red, white, and blue American Eagles here?
This is
Uh,
my original thing I had.
I think Zoom is the only one in our chat.
now we got 8
There's
people view.
Oh,
yeah, a lot lurking.
nobody's even talking to Zoom. I wish people would talk to Zoom.
Well, we just changed up to an earlier hour, so
I
Yeah,
like it. I like it.
there'll be more. Yeah, I like it because I can come on now.
I
right.
can actually, I can manage this. I can't manage being up till 10:30 at night.
Well, it's
Yeah,
getting dark. It's dark here by 7:40 now. So by 8 o'clock, I'm done with whatever I'm going to get done outside.
Oh,
7:40. Wow, it starts here by 6:30.
I mean, it's absolute dark by 7:40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You should always wear clean, but lurk. I'm confused.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going? But
calling
speaking of
you.
which, oh, my bad.
I just call him you.
Yeah,
Hey, you.
Hey,
easier to
you.
shorten some of the names. But
Yeah.
speaking of which, I probably better crash, guys. These early mornings, they've got me to where I'm a weakling when it comes to late nights, so I'm always out by 9 o'clock.
Right. I was just thinking maybe had you seen anything else of what we were talking about the other night with the Anunnaki? Any of the other transcripts and stuff like that?
No, but I've been oh dude. Uh they're discovering new places in South America even that they're thinking are 15,000 years old with some of the newer Mayan ruins that they're finding. So it's and then you look over in Israel, they found what they thought was a temple. Now it's turning out to be some sort of like prehistoric megalith site. And it's they're uncovering so many of these megalith sites right now. There's this when we can't do it with the brute force that we've got today, I think we take away from our ancestors when we say there's that that they didn't have science to. And I'm not saying that they had vehicles or flying machines. I'm saying their mathematics, their trigonometry, their geometry must have been on an insane level that I don't even think we touch on now. And I think their technology was more nature based. I think they understood nature and how to manipulate it.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's just the insanity of 1,000 tons. Think about this: 1,000 tons. It would break anything we have now, and they were able to move many of these 200 plus miles over terrain, sometimes on top of onto mountains. That
Yep.
is insane.
And a ton is 1,000 pounds. So
At
1,000
2,000
thousand.
pounds.
Huh?
That's 2,000, isn't it?
2,000 pounds.
Yep.
So that's multiply 1,000 tons, 1,000 times 2,000.
Insane, right? That it just boggles the mind. And you think about us trying to do it now, it would break anything we use to try to do that. And how they drug it onto mountaintops.
Yeah.
That it just it there's yeah, it boggles the mind. I truly believe our ancestors, their mathematics and stuff was on a level we don't give them enough credit for.
You know what I find interesting about this? Some of this stuff is some of the stuff, some of the megalith actually in South America appear to be pieces of a building that were thrown for who knows how far.
The H blocks.
No, I'm talking about the upside down stairwells and pieces of buildings that are just lopped out like in a field kind of thing.
Oh, there's, and I can't remember the site, but there's one that has these H blocks. They're perfectly carved. They almost fit together like Legos.
That's Pumapunku.
Pumapunku. Those things are like they're thrown around, like they got blown out and around, scattered around.
Yep. That was it almost looks like those blocks were made, and I'm not talking about carved. I think they were formed.
It's definitely interesting. Hey, by the way, Don.
What's up there, brother Don?
Hey, by the way, my my neighbor is whining about my solar power panels.
Why?
I don't know,
Uh,
and I'm wondering whether I care.
What does it matter? He's what, a mile away or some shit?
Yeah. I mean, he'd have to use binoculars to see him. So, again, I'm wondering why the fuck do I care?
How does he
I
even know
wouldn't.
they're there?
Well, I mean, it's not hard. They're big, and I live on a big piece of property here, and there's a road that goes by it. So yeah, you can see them.
Yeah, you have to remember there's no contour to the land out there. It's all
Yeah,
flat.
it's flat, 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 flat.
Unless there's a
In
fence
what way?
and everything.
In what way possible does that affect him? There's no possible way that
None.
would affect him.
None. His comments are, I see you're helping our California neighbors out by using your solar panels. He won't come right out and say, well, I hate your solar panels. Because then I'd punch him in his throat and we'd be done.
The ignorance of the extremes that I'm talking about. They don't like people that can find a happy medium, enjoy the perks of it, but understand we still need fossil fuels, just because we like some solar panels doesn't mean we're greenies.
How is that helping Californians?
I don't know, really.
I'm just wondering how the hell is that helping out the Californian people?
Again, I'm lost there. I do not know. My assumption is that California needs all the energy, renewables that they can get. And
your neighbor is a fucking weirdo.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm slowly gravitating towards that very fucking conclusion. So again, it asked me to ask myself, why do you care what he thinks?
It's utter ignorance.
You know what I tell
people?
You know what I would tell? I'd probably say something, being in your shoes and knowing that part of the country and shit. I would be like, well, you know what? When they shut down that fucking power grid, and because California takes all the fucking power, guess what? Where are you going to be?
I'll have power, I'll have air conditioner, and you won't.
All right. Where are you going to be? You're looking at this from the wrong direction, my friend.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's what I tell people.
I'm not doing my thing to please him. I'm just
it's impossible to produce enough energy with solar and wind for all these large cities. Somebody that's got acreage, it's completely possible for them to produce enough to offset the cost of electricity. So it's good for a person that's got acreage. But
bingo.
It's ignorance. People that aren't thinking it through, they hear one thing. Oh, the people that buy a solar panel are against fossil fuels, and then they believe that wholeheartedly. It's like, no, I don't know. The ignorance of humanity.
There is a very anti-California bent here.
Right.
Very.
Oh, here too.
Canoes. Speaking of good to hear, brother, holy shit. Dude, good to hear you. There he goes. I thought I'd said something to piss him off. Finally.
I pushed the wrong button.
Okay.
I've done that.
Haven't we warned you about that for years now? I mean,
yeah, I had
that official third rule.
Okay.
I had a confarction.
That's the second rule, right? Our third rule is, everything refers to the first. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm good to hear. I'm happy to hear Mr. Canoes here. I'm fucking excited to hear he's up and running. I saw his text earlier. I'm so glad he's feeling better.
Definitely.
Easier breathing, easier everything. Dude, we got you, brother. Don't worry about a thing.
Yep. Thank you, Lord.
Good to hear that. My solar is for my toys. Okay. It's mine. And the rest of the world could go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
If I get land, I will put solar and I will put wind up. And it is so that when the wind is blowing and the sun is shining, I produce enough to feed back into the system to where when I have to use it, it offsets my price to get my bills down.
Yep.
You're out west. where freedom rings.
My thinking
And,
exactly.
you know, and what a douchebag. You know, this guy sounds like a total douchebag out of his comment that he made. It's not a big comment, it's a little comment. It's not really something that I would give heed to,
You're
but
right. You're right.
yeah,
It's a smart ass comment, is what it is.
it is.
It
He
was a
was being
dig.
a wise. He thought he was being a wise ass or something. But whatever the case,
Okay.
you bought those panels. You bought them.
Yep.
You own them, and he didn't.
Exactly.
So
That's cool. You know what? He's a realtor. For those of you interested playing our home game, and he meddles in a lot of the land around here. Um,
I got you.
that's okay. All right.
Yep.
Most of the people, the most of the people in the valley here are very self-sufficient, pro-Trump, conservative type individuals.
exactly,
They really
exactly.
are.
Yes, they are.
And
I know that.
they don't make stupid comments like that. The other neighbors that have made comments have been glad to see your solar, happy to see you got a generator. You know, they understand the shit will eventually hit the fan, and we will be ready when that happens. So
That's what people don't seem to get about the Trump people. We don't necessarily subscribe to one extreme or the other extreme. We're capable of finding
we'll
a
take care of ourselves.
plausible medium, and yeah,
Right.
and it's
Just
just
stay out of
that
our
works
way.
best for us as
Yep.
individuals.
Yep.
Well, Sing, I'm not Don T. You're not Don T. Uh,
Uh,
and he's
can't
gonna
wait.
be who he is, and he's doing his shit.
Right.
That's
I told
that's
him, I said, my power never leaves the property. I mine cryptocurrencies with it.
Our
He
our
didn't know what
saying
to say.
around here, our saying around here is you do you, I'll do me. It's basically as long as it doesn't affect me, I could give a shit less what you're doing.
exactly.
Bingo.
Right.
Bingo.
I might even watch.
Yeah.
Right. I'll
Yeah.
watch. I mean, if it entails something about, I don't know, naked chicks running around your property, I'm good with that. If
I,
you're growing weed, I'm good with that. If you're
I
doing your own crypto thing, once again, I'm good with that. I really don't care.
so out there where you live, I'm wondering if those solar panels would be an advantage as far as getting some kind of a shade value too. You know,
You know what?
so
You're
you can,
not the first person to say that.
yeah,
That people are talking about planting crops under and between solar panels
right,
because you still get the sun, just not the direct sun.
right. In Nevada,
Plus, you could,
that'd be a plus.
My nurse is listening in. He's ex-army. He thinks you guys sound awesome.
Hmm.
We are
right
awesome,
on.
but we are awesome.
Tell him he'd fit in well.
Tell him he just needs to join us. Just join
Yeah.
our little band of merry men here, and run with the big dogs.
Yeah. He can come up and talk about whatever he wants. Absolutely.
Yeah, not one of us has the same complete views on everything.
I don't know what a cricket ball looks like.
And
Like,
But miraculously, we all get along.
Balls, softballs, same thing. Cricket balls.
and yeah,
what,
but
is what is a cricket ball? What's
Hey,
that?
Ragged.
oh yeah, hey Ragged, what's up, brother?
Oh, he
Is that
showed me, Zach. Yeah, he showed me all your gear, the stickers, the jerky. Yep, he wanted you to show me, Don. He showed us the other night. Yeah, that's legit. The Area 51 care package.
No, those cricket balls are just a little bit bigger than a baseball, right?
That Emerald, that was cruel, man. Here I was tired, ready to go to bed, and you got me thinking about those megaliths and everything. That was a dirty trick. Now I'm woke up again.
Right, guy. You can thank me later.
Is it like a hard ball or a softball? Softball's a big one.
Softball. They're a
Oh,
little
okay.
larger than a hard ball.
Okay.
But Ragged Coin knows better than me. I haven't fondled a ball recently, so I can't really say.
I only play
Yeah,
hardball.
Ragged is really good at fondling balls, I hear. So
Exactly. So if it's a ball that needs to be fondled, I'm going to leave it to Ragged there. He's going to tell us.
Yeah.
He's a pro. Sorry, man. I just couldn't help myself.
Ragged. I don't know. I don't know what cricket is. I never played it. Sorry. I'm American.
I think the part that frustrates me so much about what your neighbor told you, Don, is the fact that I'm big about planting trees. I'm big about getting as much green, everything going as possible. And then people call me a tree hugger. It's like, no, I've grown up in the country. We are all like this. We want to take care of the land.
We want to make it productive and beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, but that doesn't make me a California tree hugger.
I gotta ask Cricket Man. I mean Ragged. A little question here.
Cricket ball.
Cricket Man.
Cricket
ball.
Okay.
I got to ask him a question though. Is when you take a piss, can you just take a piss anywhere in the UK, or what's it like over there? I mean, can you just piss in the middle of a field or what?
Inquiring minds want to know exactly.
I mean, I pull over the side of the road and take a piss. Just make sure nobody's looking.
Ragged.
They like to show off over there, though.
Yeah, and if you're looking, just open the door a little bit, stand in the middle there, and get it on.
It's different over there. They like to show off, so they'll stand. That's why they have roundabouts, so they can stand in the middle of the roundabout,
right,
and show off to everybody, all four corners at once.
Yeah, you guys can take your roundabouts back too, by the way. They're starting to put them in all over around here, and those are the most annoying things. A stoplight works so much better.
They suck.
Yeah.
You got to have like four signs. You got to have 4 or 5 signs. You got roundabouts don't make any sense. I mean, our regular stop signs, it's one stop sign. You don't need like 10 freaking signs. The roundabouts over here, they have all kinds of signs on them. They're a nuisance.
And then if you get people that are just dicks, you can't get in.
Hey, Jen Nature, what's happening?
Hey, and if you got a roundabout and I'm in a dump truck, I'm going to run over your shit.
Oh, I think I told you guys about the story that I had to go over some plants because they wanted me to go through the roundabout. And I told them there was no way I was going to make it. And when I called the company up that I was driving for, they just told me to take the path of least resistance that did the least amount of damage. So I went over some plants that they had and everything. The guy behind me that just told me that, oh, you just don't know how to drive a truck. He tried to do the roundabout turn in and took out one of their little eagle statue things that tore up his truck, and everybody else followed my tracks.
Oh gosh, I know what you're talking about. I really do. I pulled a truck and a pup and a end dump in this area that had all these stupid ass European roundabouts. And I'm telling you, every single time, it didn't matter which truck I was driving, I was still running over shit.
Yep. And they did it on a on a path to several different loading docks. You cannot take a truck through a roundabout, especially a very tight car roundabout. Uh-oh. What did you do, Don?
We don't talk about it. That's why we type it.
Oh yeah, and imagine a roundabout on the left-hand side of the road.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the frogs. They invented this roundabout shit.
The frogs, right?
Yep. I think
Ms.
you're right.
Barry, I trust you're well this evening. Miss Barry
Hey,
is in the
Huckleberry.
house.
Hey,
Hi,
there's
Huckleberry.
Huckleberry. How you doing, Huckleberry? Is there a Freya report?
Lovely gentleman. Huckleberry, are you high?
She's stoned.
She is, and probably naked too.
Tired.
She's stoned. Yeah.
So went to see the doctor today.
Oh yeah.
Took EKG. Yep. I had a appointment scheduled with my cardiologist today.
Yeah.
So I drove into Vegas, seen my cardiologist. She took an EKG, said it was perfect.
Nice.
So I'm very happy with that.
Good, Don.
Good deal. Unfortunately, my doctor didn't say the same thing about mine today.
Yeah. So tell us about that. How'd that go?
Well, they say she implied something like usually people with this, my heart rate was low. And people with this level of heart rate are usually candidates for a pacemaker.
Okay. That's not a good thing.
I didn't say I needed a pacemaker. She just implied.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure that there would be required a little more due diligence than one simple visit.
Well,
Inquire about your.
out
Yeah.
came the needles in the specimen cup.
Well, dude, and I got to be honest with you. At least you're going.
Yeah.
You're going to see the guy or girl or whoever it is.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got canoes to go out finally. Fucking get out of the house and go see a medical professional.
Huckleberry, don't say
Fixing
that out loud.
years of shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was just telling Huckleberry not to say that out loud, that you've got a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that. You can type it. Just don't say it.
It's eyes only top secret clearance.
Bingo. There you go. That's it. Eyes only top secret shit. Agent Orange. Hush, hush. The non-classified world doesn't know this yet.
I keep hearing talk about classifications, and I never hear that one. And I'm like, what's that? What we operated under? Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Right.
Huckleberry is in YouTube. Yep, she's normally in Twitch, but YouTube. So I want to talk to you about your requirement for the 12,000 to 20,000 year old people to have awesome math and engineering skills.
Yes.
I kind of want to agree with you because yes, you don't move, those fucking big rocks. You just can't move them. You just can't. So I half agree with you, but I half disagree with you in so much as I believe that math was some highly guarded shit, kind of like, Freemasons back in the day, if you know what I mean.
I believe
So
that. Yep.
there was probably one guy that knew the math that it got passed down to from another guy. I mean, weren't those people priests in early Egypt only
Yes.
3,000 years back?
Yep.
So I can imagine if they held that information 10,000 or 15,000 years back, 13,000 years back, then they probably were godlike deities.
And
What?
I'll tell you what, that fits in with something else that I heard about that was that the origins of the word worship was workship. And these were places where they went to work for their gods or for their.
That is absolutely true. I've heard that on more than a couple of occasions through interpretations of old things.
All right.
So yes, Ice Poseidon is back on YouTube.
So they would have the technologies for agriculture, the gardens. They would have technologies for the energies. You see the one with the cow face.
See, I don't believe all of that. I don't think they have all of that you're thinking about. I really don't. Just because they can move some big rocks doesn't mean that they have mastered energies, medicines, or anything else.
They knew how to make bread of life.
Make what?
The bread of life. Have you ever researched that?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's what happens to gold when they cook it down and becomes mononucleic. They made the bread of life.
Gold is a base metal, right?
Yep. All base metals will cook down to that. Yep. Silver, the noble metals, anyway. That's why they were considered noble. Done a lot of research on that.
Okay.
I don't think we were. I think we were in communities well before they believed we were, and obviously we were building. Our ancestors were building cities well before they were, because even 10 years ago they were still saying that 10,000 years ago we were still hunter-gatherer, small tribes. We weren't accumulating to build cities. Well, the Tempes have completely destroyed that. Some of the Mayan ruins are finding that they're believing are excuse me, up to 15,000 years old. Completely destroy that.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think there was organized agriculture. I think there was organized cities. There was structure within the communities, and we weren't just small nomadic tribal hunter-gatherers at those times. That's where I don't give enough credit to our ancestors.
Very, very interesting what you're saying, because if you look at the ancient Mayan culture, you'll find out they've got skulls that had holes drilled in them where they did brain surgery and stuff that were healed up. And apparently the person, before they died, lived for quite a while, enough for it to heal the skull back up from the brain surgery.
Calcification. Egyptians had that too. Where there was years worth of calcification after
complex dental work that we don't know how to do now. We don't know how to do some of the dental work that they did. So, it's not just that, but it's and the way the stones were cut in these perfectly straight up walls, stones that were cut so fine, and they were like weird shapes, geometric angles that they cut these stones. Where did they get this technology from, and how did they manage to fit these stones perfectly in ancient Mayan culture and Inca culture? It boggles the mind, the technology that they must have had.
the part that sends it over the top are the holes. The holes that they bored that were so perfect and not even any scoring.
We're talking
already-
like granite.
Yep.
No,
They've
we're
already
talking.
figured out that they can do that with sunlight and lenses.
They're doing it with Durite or something like that.
Nature based, and see, that's why I think they had. It's nothing like the science we have now. I mean, we're more advanced than any other civilization in the way we do science. But I think they had more of a, like you're talking about, sunlight and lenses, possible things like that. I think they had a nature oriented science, and I think it was well beyond what we understand.
Yeah, I think they knew the nature of sound. I think they understood the science of sound and what sound could do.
Frequency.
Yep.
Frequency.
Not sound.
Pat and I had this
Frequency.
discussion one night. The frequencies, and that's I still think that's what Stonehenge.
Why do you believe that? Why do you believe that?
There's been a lot of work done in Stonehenge where they reverberate the sound, and then they've done computer models of if the remainder of the stones were, so they take their base study off of the stones that are still up and the reverb that comes off of them if they're on that center table that used to be there, and everything is just kind of rubble now, but the center table, if they displace the sound, so which would have been people like standing in front of around there even chanting a certain type, and it reverbs all the way around, and then they did a computer graphic that showed if they had the other rings around it also, and it reverberates around, and it all comes back to pinpoint on the table itself. So they had something in their heads that had to do with a lot of this frequency. I don't know what they did with that. I mean, there's speculation, and all it is.
Because where's all this proof that any of that happened? Is that a theory?
Right now it's theories. Yeah, there's no proof.
Say that up front and loudly. This is a theory.
That's what the computer analysis was. They did a computer analysis.
Analysis. Yeah. That's the word.
So,
it's an analysis. So it's not even a theory. It's a simple analysis.
Well, an analysis done on a theory. So the theory came first, then they did an analysis. So there's no way we can prove any of it without being there.
How do you get that by accident?
There's no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind, in my pea-picking little mind, that they knew some things that we don't know.
What?
We just don't know in modern day.
Bill, help me understand, please.
Sure.
What is it? What is it that proves this to you?
Doesn't prove it to me.
All right.
It's okay.
That's what I need right there. That's fine. And again, I'm not looking for it to be a fact. What I'm looking for is some proof points, a proof point, any proof point, something I can grab.
Look up the computer and the computer animations and the computer analysis they did on Stonehenge with the frequency, with the different frequency-based tests. Look up to that.
Why don't you find me a link, please? Throw me a link up here.
There's a lot of people right now that try to duplicate, like, say, for example, the pyramids. They've tried to duplicate how they could have gotten the rocks from areas where they were supposedly came from, and were able to cut them perfectly to fit the pyramids. So
You're right. There are thousands of people, and hundreds of TV shows that actually watch all of that. None of it.
And that's all we have.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all we have.
And none of them came to any real conclusions.
Okay, and these are theory based. But look up soundsofstonehenge.wordpress.com, and then you can go to scholarly articles for frequency studies on Stonehenge. And these are literal. I mean, these are academics. These are scholars. These are people that are familiar with the study of different frequency and stuff like that, and different theoretical physics that are doing a lot of these tests on.
I would ask some questions like, what would they have had at hand based on their primitive technology, and how could they have done what they achieved, and in the time frame that they achieved it according to written history. And there is written history on the pyramids. There's hieroglyphics that are written history, and they have time frames, and they know how long it would have taken for them to build those pyramids. They know that because
news.artnet.com. Now a lot of
guys,
hey Apex, how's it going? Now a lot of this is truly speculation, Don, and a lot of it's theories, but it's a sound enough theory to where they've got actual theoretical physicists checking it out and doing studies and actually coming up with proof that there is a reverberation that pinpoints in the center. Now with the moving stones, I don't know, or the cutting stones, I haven't found any studies done on that yet. But the fact that they're doing some of the studies on that and having small proofs that there is a center point to where the sound is meeting, and it's an amplification center, it does give some credence to it could have been. So
now,
it's still a theory. There's no way to prove it without seeing it ourselves, but it gives some basis to them when they take that theory, do the test.
Sing?
Yeah.
Do you remember a series called Columbo? A TV series called Columbo, where he does investigations. Actually, what Don is using is Columbo tactics, or Columbo questions. He's asking the questions. You came to a conclusion. How did you come to that conclusion?
No, and I got you. Yeah, and it's to be able to understand. And I know it's not he's not being aggressive about it. He's wanting to know.
No. But are you coming to a conclusion? That's what the biggest thing is. Are you coming to a conclusion, and what is it based on?
Oh, and that's absolutely, and that's where I do need to. These are well, they're a little bit beyond theories. They're theories that are being tested, and they're finding small truths in the theory, which doesn't lead to a complete conclusion. So I can't come up with a conclusion, but it leads me to think that there's something there that we need to look into more. Does that make sense?
When you make a statement, you came to a conclusion. You sounded as if you had come to a conclusion, but what was it based on? And that's all he's asking.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Thank you, Bill.
I didn't mean to, anyways. But no, there's no definitive conclusion. I mean, I've said many a time without us actually being there and seeing it. Yeah,
I'm trying to get your train of thought. Same thing with Bill. I'm trying to understand what is it that takes you down that path. What are we grabbing onto that's making us think this?
The one article, and it was Scientific American, and I can't find it now, but I know that's where I read it. There's newscientist.com. But there's several articles that got into the discussion of the tests that they were doing. And to me, that's leading me to think that we need to do more study into it. I think there's quite a possibility that they were used as a, to capture those frequencies, to amplify those frequencies, to pinpoint those frequencies. And again, my belief, this is my theory, that it had to do something with that based on the tests that they've done that do have some hardline evidence, because it's amplifying it, and it's also they're finding pinpoint areas in the center that it's being amplified to. So there are some concrete facts beyond the theory, but that there's no way to lead us to a definitive conclusion, though. Because once again, without us being there, seeing what it was used for and knowing what they knew,
that's
there's
the
just
point.
no way.
You said it. So we can't run with that as a fact until we've come to an actual conclusion. You said it right. You just said it.
Right.
We
Yeah.
can't claim something as fact until we actually come to a conclusion what makes it a fact. And
But there are small facts that go
yeah.
into it. The fact that
No,
it does
I'm
amplify, the fact
yeah.
that it does amplify to a certain point. So
It's
that's the thing
interesting.
about it.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. It's definitely interesting, and it's worth
Yeah.
uh, trying to learn more about it if that's where your interest lies.
Yeah. And I truly do believe that was some sort of, this is my belief and this is my theory, that I believe it was some sort of sound amplification, because it's, when you're building something, yes, you get an echo, you get things like that, but to have it perfectly align with certain things, it's just like a lot of the structures that are built with the stars.
Now,
That stuff doesn't happen again and again just by random chance.
I am perplexed by what they did. Those canals, those perfectly cut canals that the Incas did. I am perplexed by it, how they did that and how they cut that granite. Because I don't think they had the technology at the time when they claimed they cut that granite to make these perfectly vertical and all the other weird geometric angles. What do they call that?
On
What do
that
they call
granite
those?
scale, the Egyptians
Right.
were doing the same thing with basalt, and that shit's hard as hell.
Their geometry was amazing, I think. Then I think they at least knew everything that we know now at some point was lost, had to be relearned. I think the part that gets me that doesn't make sense is that they believe it was done with bronze tools.
I mean, the Spaniards were perplexed by it when they found it. When they discovered it, they didn't. They were like, "How did these people cut these things? What kind of technology did they use?" And they didn't use vertical and horizontal. In that picture that you're showing, uh, that it shows it's not linear, and that is what is so weird. How they were perfectly fit like a jigsaw puzzle, you know.
And
I'm just
with
playing a video here.
With the theory on there's a theory out there that the actual scholars have and the actual archaeologists have, that it was stone on stone polishing to get them exact and everything. Problem with stone on stone polishing, when you talk about the boring and when you talk about the perfect corners and stuff, you have to have a perfectly cornered stone to start with to get those inside corners to polish it. And you have to be able to replicate that over and over and over again. And for polishing, you have to use a softer rock to polish a harder. What's that?
That's the math. That's the math.
Yep.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I believe it's a 2, 3, 4 combination for a right angle.
Yes.
Look at that. Look at those joints.
You're
wow.
Right. The 2, 3, 4, to anybody that's wondering, you take two edges coming off at 90 degrees from each other. You measure 2 foot off of one, you measure 3 foot off the other. To get that completely square, it needs to be 4 foot between those two marks. That 2, 3, 4.
But see, I only know that because my daddy taught me that when I was 6 years old on a construction
site. Yep.
Right. So that's what I'm talking about. That early math was Mason math. That was fucking rock man. That was rock and city building math. Is what that kind of shit was sacred stuff.
Yep. But the part that bugs me is, according to mainstream historians, 15,000 years ago, that supposedly didn't exist. We weren't even gathered together in large enough groups to do it.
Yeah, but that's just we know now that's not true. And Ragged, hold on. Let me shout out to the chat real quick.
Ragged, what the fuck?
We know we're gonna be fucking single. I'm already been married for 22 years, so yeah, I get that. This is not a female chasing chat. Trust me.
No.
Huck Canoes was in here earlier, and he's feeling so much better. He's in the ICU. I thought maybe you had seen the latest update or brief on that. He may still be here. I don't know.
We'll
Definitely
be right
jump
back.
in here, Canoes, if you are. That's it. That's all I got for chat. Yeah, granted. So, anyway,
Yeah.
They didn't carve that granite and they didn't cut it with bronze tools.
no, and I don't really understand that theory because what's happening with that is that an old timeline of when bronze was available, Bronze Age kind of shit runs up against a new timeline of Inca Indians and various other peoples doing other things that are not bronze tool compatible. Okay. Yep, there's Canoes. He's listening. There you go.
See, Emerald's playing coy right now, but he brought this conversation up on purpose because he knows I can't refuse this conversation.
Actually, I kind of have to agree with kind of halfway playing the same game. I saw you say that you were about to jump out here because you had to get up early in the morning and blah, 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 and wine. And I saw where your napkin was a little bit damp, and I figured I'd jump up in here and see if we could.
Yeah.
You, me, and Bill, we always have a tight conversation around this.
Oh, I love these debates. And I like it when they
Shut up now.
Get going.
But like you said,
What's that?
Sing, I still
What-
believe they did have a knowledge of use of frequency, sound, vibration, whatever you want to call it. I think they knew about that and they utilized that.
I truly believe that Stonehenge, in my opinion, well, not even just in my opinion, in a lot of scientific opinion, based on their studies they've done, proves that they had an idea behind it anyways, and that's with Stonehenge. And Stonehenge is one of the most argued about places on the age because there's a lot of geologists that believes it's like more than double the age of what historians, because they believe that a lot of this was intricately carved and that the weathering proves it. Because when you get the geologists in there, they look at the weathering and they're like, this stuff has been up for a while.
What about the pause of the
So-
Sphinx? There's absolutely water erosion on those.
Oh yeah. There's
Yeah, that is the pissing off of ancient antiquities motherfuckers entry level salvo, what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the Sphinx was fucking, it's got all kinds of water erosion. And of course, at that point in the program, every former, current, and future Egyptologist on the planet's head explodes. Exactly.
But there's
There's a lot more smart people coming out right now and saying, hey, look at that water erosion.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And those
So I'm like
geologists,
leaning in that direction and wondering how the fuck did that get there?
I'm telling you, you guys should listen to Graham Hancock. Dude's on it with this ancient civilization stuff.
Yeah, he's all over the watermark stuff.
you could go. There's articles written
Yeah,
by
but Graham's in a
several
lot of stuff
geologists.
too. So
Yeah. Well, he's also uncovered a lot of the underground tunnels and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
That he believes that was all used as circuitry.
See, I don't.
The whole
underground tunnels
complex.
where Egyptian underground tunnels.
Yeah, there's lots of underground compartment tunnels that
No,
are.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
There are
Why do you
tons,
think
and
Pepto-Bismol?
the Egyptians are actually shielding some
Because
and saying no, they're not there, but they're lying. So
right. And they all connect together in a network under
Now
the cities
I
and
know
under
there's.
it's.
some
I know
scholars are
there's
saying
speculation.
those tunnels connect all the way to the Valley of Kings, some 20 to 25 miles away. Those tunnels also connect out there.
Theories
Some people are saying
again.
that. Theory.
Also, we've got the long longhead figures on Easter Island.
Now there's actually more to the heads than people are thinking. Supposedly there's an entire body, or at least half the body, underneath the ground still.
Yes. A lot of them have, yeah, they're not just heads above. But when they dig them out to get to the foundations, they realize that these things are 40 and 50 feet tall.
Yeah. Yet another
Look at the
megalithic
shape of the
structure.
heads. Look at the shape of the heads, though.
Right.
Mhm. Actually,
That's-
the shape of the heads remind me a lot of the Olmecs and how they would carve their heads out.
I like looking up stuff, and recently I started looking up stuff on the spheres, the giant spheres that are apparently
Over in
perfectly
Russia?
round, multi-ton spheres in different places. And it's not just South America. There's other places they found them. I believe there's some in
Siberia,
Bosnia.
Russia.
Yeah.
Definitely down some in Peru. Yeah, they're all over.
It's interesting.
So Huck appreciates Ragged being her.
Uh-oh.
Her.
Oh.
And there are freak incidents where nature makes straight lines. Nature makes things that are unexplainable. It's just not necessarily a
Yeah, but
repeatable
nature
thing
doesn't
right
work
next
in
to each
right
other
angles.
over and over.
That's where you gotta kind of keep an eye on things. Is nature doesn't make things in right angles.
Okay. So speaking of straight lines, and I really want to ask everybody's
It's a
opinion.
word.
There's
Mhm.
there's a bunch of granite straight lines buried under, I think, 60 feet of water, 100 feet of water. Granite monolith kind of straight lines off the coast of Japan. Have you seen
Yep.
these?
I've seen those. Yes.
So here's my question: are those natural or are those man-made?
Man-made.
And tell me
Man-made.
why.
My
Why?
opinion,
Okay.
I believe because of all the multiple right angles, the multiple straight lines, since there's so many there, to me it looks like, and this is opinion theory, whatever, it looks like a quarry before the waters rose. So some
Yep.
type of ancient quarry before the waters rose. I don't think it was done underwater and all that. I think it was long ago when it was still above sea level. And to me, it looks like a quarry, to be honest. I don't think it's a city. I think it was a quarry.
You put the two things together that I absolutely put together. First,
Yep.
lower sea levels. Second, somebody was in there carving that off. Some guy, some set of guys, some man-made shit was in there carving that off before the sea got high. So yeah, I agree with you, sir. 1,000%. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
I got to go get a freshie drink. So talk amongst yourselves.
Interestingly enough, on some of those Japanese islands, there are some of the large, massive megalithic blocks in places too, on a lot of those islands around those areas. So,
Well, and here's the you can even find some of the original megalithic stuff in Rome and stuff. It's not from the Romans. They built on top of it.
yes, yep, especially when they expanded to the Middle East, most of the Roman
Yep.
buildings are built on top of megalithic stones. Yep,
Yep.
I've seen that. That's interesting. So there was
The thing
something
that's
there
really
before they even
boggling my
started.
mind. The thing that's really boggling my mind here lately is the newer stuff that's coming out of Göbekli Tepe over in Turkey. That site is insane.
I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna blow your mind beyond belief right now because it blew my mind because I knew of Göbekli Tepe. Look up just Tepe. There are over a dozen different cities like that around that
Really?
area. Yes,
Wow.
just research Tepe and it'll show you all the Tepes going around through there.
Okay.
And these are ones they found. They think there's dozens of them around.
That's insane. And they're dating
And-
back, what, 13,000 years?
16.
I think
16?
12 or 13. Oh, is it 16? Oh, wow. Yep.
Yeah, that's
I know.
nutty.
And each tepe has those T pillars too. each
Yep.
one. So they're built by the same civilization. In my opinion, they, to have that type of architecture, it's got to be the same. Stands to reason, it's got to be the same civilization that built them all, and they're all from the same time period. So, or their tests have shown. And here's the crazy thing: the things they're testing are because carbon testing, they can't test stone with that. It's got to be something that was once alive, carbon based. So like they test like the soot from an ancient fire or something like that. That's what they're testing at these ages that are showing ancient. So these things could have been there a long time before that even.
Oh yeah.
Okay, when he gets back, I'll ask him. Zach, sorry about that.
Yeah, they're saying Tepe and those buildings, those cities were pre-Diluvian.
Yep.
So that's a trip when you look at Google Images at the ocean floor, and you see these perfectly straight lines that crisscross across the ocean floor.
What about the underwater city of Dwarka?
That's a good one. That's one a lot of people forget about.
Yeah, a lot of people forget about that one. They won't let them dive there.
See, and I'm hearing now that they're digging up all kinds of stuff over down the Antarctica, like giant sloths, mammoths, all kinds of like natural stuff that's buried under like literally a mile of ice or some shit, or a half mile of ice. It's nutty.
Yeah. All will be revealed. Everything held in the shadows shall be revealed. The apocalypse is exactly what that means. The unveiling of the truth.
Yep.
Apocalypse actually means unveiling of the truth.
Raggy, what you going on about, bro?
We were razzing the crap out of Craggin earlier, so he's getting paybacks. We're talking. We were giving him guff about bundling balls and stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
So that will explain Craggin to this evening.
That explains a lot.
He takes it well, though. He gives it right back.
Yeah, God bless you, brother.
The new king of England. Yes, I'm back.
You know what time it is, don't you, boys? It's time for pie.
Cool.
I thought it was time for fire in the bowl, but I'll take a pie.
Don, Zoom wanted me to tell you about a railroad strike that's coming up Friday, apparently.
Oh, that is coming up.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm watching. As a matter of fact, there's more than one railroad union that's about to strike, and but they haven't gotten
Why did I put the phone further away?
ugly about it yet. In other words, they're like, well, we'll continue going on, but we'll just go on strike. We'll still continue to move freight at a diminished rate. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that'll be it for now.
Yeah.
And Apex, Zach is throwing a Little Debbie zebra cake for you.
I saw.
Oh, Huck, you going to see Uncle Don then? Is that what I'm hearing? She's going to her old town, stumping for the future gov there. Do we like Charles and the hag Camilla? Well, what if we were to say,
go ahead. Fuck Charles. I'm just gonna be straight up. Fuck Charles.
Well, yeah, I'm not Chuck's biggest fan. He was always kind of a mama's boy to me.
Isn't he the one who got caught up in the Epstein shit?
He's been caught up in all kinds of shit.
That was Andrew.
No.
Yeah,
That was the other one. That was the other
Oh,
one.
Yep.
okay.
No, Chuck was not involved in Epstein.
Andrew
Okay.
is his brother.
Yeah,
Okay.
Andrew is the one that can't seem to keep it in his pants.
Okay.
think-
In that case,
I think,
I
like-
have no opinion on Charles. I thought it was
I think,
Charles.
like Don said, I think, like Don said, the Charles didn't leave mommy's side much.
Yeah.
Of course, on that note, his mom was a phenomenal woman. Okay, and
Yeah.
I want to go on record right now that the fucking reign of Queen Elizabeth II, long live the Queen, baby.
Yeah.
This chick was a harder nut than all 5 of us combined. She
It's
was.
true.
I got respect for her. Now,
I
don't
got
get me wrong.
nothing but respect for her. Go ahead.
Don't get me wrong. We're America. We don't, deal with kings and queens. But as a person and what she did, I've got the utmost respect for her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Chuck's
I
a little
will
too.
say I'm not a fan of the flags flying at half staff for the Queen, but
Yeah, I'm not sure why we did that here, but I think it's because she was not because she was a queen, because she was instrumental in a lot of the coming together of the U.S. and UK, a
She
lot
was
of
a
our
key.
relations.
Yeah. Absolutely. She was a key. She was a brother to the United States, sister to
Right.
the United States. There was no doubt. She was an asset.
And I think it has to do
half
with
staff. I don't know. Our half staff. I don't know, but I don't really. You know what? If it shows a little reverence, then okay, I'm not going to bitch about it.
yeah.
and I think it's for the person, not the crown.
Okay.
Agreed. It's for the
Yeah.
person, not for the title or for the anything
Yeah.
else. But yeah, no, you're right. He Chuck's a little weak. He's just a little too mama's boy. He needs a Camilla to show him the way. He thought he could get away with a Diane, and he couldn't. He couldn't do it. He couldn't hold her. He couldn't put a bridle on that.
Yeah.
Now
Man,
I think
that's okay.
that would've
William.
made an awesome replacement.
I
Oh
think
my
William
gosh.
could turn out like his grandmother, possibly.
William will be the closest thing to his grandmother in that family. You're absolutely
Yep.
right. Service, duty, honor. I mean that
Yep.
you're never going to find that again.
Yep. Now the crappy person you guys sent to us, I'm not tickled about. You can have him back. The Harry Balls or whatever his name is.
Harry Balls. Okay, I'm not sure
Or
where
that's
you're
her.
going with that.
Oh,
Okay.
That's her.
shit.
Sorry, I got him reversed.
the
Are we still talking
one
about?
what was her name? Megan? No.
Oh, the red-haired little bitch.
yeah, that
one-
was
The one that's getting pegged by Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
you assholes
can have
send him over here to try to be an American, and then he can't grasp the concept of the freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Literally, the primary freedom.
He's not going to last long here.
Yeah,
You guys heard about the person on it's either Twitter or Reddit who accurately predicted the Queen's death and actually is predicting Charles's death as well.
mental illness, and like I say, I've got respect for the
Hundreds of
person
years
that
of
was.
inbreeding.
Thank you. Okay. Yep. You knew where I was going.
Hundreds
And I've
of
got
years
respect
of
for
it. Yeah.
Elizabeth, but that happened. I mean, it was cousins. And I'm not talking distant cousins. I'm talking it was usually a first cousin over and over and over again.
Picture Germany and Austria. I won't say anything else. Well, when if you throw in a little leather there, you get a better picture.
They consider.
Welcome in, gentlemen.
Hey, Shadow. They consider Queen Victoria the Queen Victoria. They consider her the mother of all European royalty. The reason is because her bloodline within, children and everything. Her bloodline is within almost all European royalty. That's because her kids' kids all married one another and became,
I still think Amelia Windsor is hot, though.
Who?
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Who?
Amelia Windsor.
Okay, I don't know her.
Yeah.
I tell you who was hot was Kate in her wedding dress. And even better,
and
Kate's little sister Pippa. There's a hot little piece of royalty.
And hats off to William for knowing not to marry his first cousin. That was his first good choice.
That's true. Dipping out of the gene pool. It's a good thing.
You got to, man. You just got to. All right, guys. I'm gonna jump off here. I'm tired.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I've really got to get going.
Yeah.
I should have crashed at least a half hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
To bring you down if you want, and but I got to get crashing too.
Right on.
All right, let's see. What time is it? 36. So I will keep it up until me and Bill will hold the fort down until the top of the hour.
Rock on.
Sweet.
After that,
with that, out of here.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, girls.
We'll see you guys. Take care.
Peace, guys.
Be careful.
Go Patriots.
Biden is hair gorilla. Hair gorilla? What the fuck is a hair gorilla? And I tell you what, Anne proved herself in this funeral. And Anne has served England well. You're absolutely right, Princess Anne. I like her. She's a military. I like her. I do. But I will say,
I don't have anything to say about the Royals.
my wife tracks them pretty hard. And so because of that, I'm kind of exposed to them, which is pretty cool. She's watching this whole thing, start to finish, on all the British channels, BBC, ITV1, ITV4, ITV2, blah, blah, blah. I mean, just all of it.
Sky News Australia.
Yeah, maybe not so much. I'm looking more at that on YouTube. She gets the
Sky
real deal
News
channels
UK.
from UK. Yeah, Sky News UK. Yep.
There's 2 Sky Newses that I know of.
That's all Rupert Murdoch. Fox News in the US.
I actually like Sky News Australia.
I do too. They're hard on the Chinese.
There's this one brunette that gets on there on Sky News. I kind of like. She's got a whole lot of attitude.
Looks like one long face. Okay.
Spunky is the word I'm thinking of. Spunky.
What's her name?
I never found out. I never found her name.
Zoom, it was actually very nice today. I think it got to a high of about 82, 86 maybe. Most of the day it was around 77. Hello, Shadow Man in Hamilton, Ontario. Whoa. Sky Internet, I watch Sky News. Yep. Name is Kate Barely. There you go. There's your girl. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, she's just got some cuteness about her, and I like her spunky attitude.
Forget about it, sir. I'll get that out the door to you sometime this week, I hope. It's been a busy week. Let's just put it that way. I did find a box for it, though, finally. Now I just need to close it up and put your address on it. She's in bed. She's in, yeah, we don't, yeah, she's, yeah.
Kate Burley, okay.
Maxwell hired her back in the 90s. So she's been here a while then. Okay. So what else is interesting there, Mr. Giant Head? Mr.
Not
Head
much.
Slant Giant or Mr. Head Comma Giant?
Just working on trying to get Trump reelected.
Yeah, you and me both, brother. They keep telling me it's a simple cash thing. So if I continue to send them more and more zeros, that we're guaranteed to get Trump elected, right?
You know,
That's
I
what.
think that makes a big difference.
Well, that's what they keep telling me. So I keep sending them money.
Oh yeah. Because what's the alternative? I mean,
Oh, you're right.
they've got
You're
nothing.
absolutely right. Exactly. So, yeah. I send my money straight to Don Jr.
Hell yeah.
Don Jr.'s got a program. Him and me are buddies on email.
Right on.
At least, that's what he leads me to believe. We all know it's fake. We all know he's leading me on, right?
Yeah, I get
Leading me
daily
down
emails from him.
But that's okay. It's like you said. Where else are you going to send it?
Yeah.
Super fiber optic. Hell yeah. For that real high speed. So how fast will your Sky super fiber optic be there, Ragged? Because I mean, Elon's given me about 200 megs down pretty regular at real low latency. So I'm pleased.
Yeah, I've donated.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm going out to the rallies and screaming at people about shit. People
No.
don't listen to me. So I gotta, this is my way, my only way of
I've donated,
contributing.
and I encourage other people to donate as they're capable of.
Yep.
It's not like it's not like everybody's able to. People are hurting financially because
Oh
of
no,
this.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Contribute to one's capabilities.
Yep. But it's definitely worthwhile if you're thinking of something that's going to make a difference. That will make a difference.
Yes. Yes, it will. Ragged 375 down, 500 up. That's pretty fucking good, baby.
So I'll thank you personally for donating.
Oh, and I'll thank you personally for donating.
Yeah. Thank you for donating. And anybody else that does.
We'll get
It's
there,
a
brother.
worthwhile cause.
We'll get there. I'm looking forward to November. I am. Everything tells me it's going to be a fucking red wave.
Yeah. It is the right side. It's the right way. So
Unlimited phone calls under an hour. Now, let me ask the question. Is that unlimited phone calls in country? And I don't understand what the hour. has to do with anything, but okay. You know, they're basically giving away unlimited phone service these days.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, say your phone. You get your phone for, some people are getting their phone for as little as $20 a month, unlimited, across the board. What you're getting is unlimited data. And within that unlimited data, you're using voice over IP to transport your voice. It's just the UK. I need to check. Okay. That would make sense. But I mean, unless you do a lot of, unless you got a lot of family, say in Europe, like Spain, France, something like that, then it's probably you're good. What are you doing, Ghost? You digging in a drawer somewhere? It sounds like, or doing some construction. In other words.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I should have turned it off. I should have muted my mic.
How much would it cost to phone the USA? From there, I don't know. From here, it's so cheap to phone the UK, as in 0.01 cent per minute, something similar to that. So yeah, a penny a minute, probably. Which, dude, as a matter of fact, yes, it is a penny a minute. Because my wife calls her aunt, and she talks forever, and it costs me nothing. Yeah, base phone. Well, it's a voice over IP phone. You can do it on a soft phone on your laptop, or you can put it on a hard desk phone. But either way, it's voice. I do VoIP for a living. I know all about VoIP. I sell VoIP. So yeah, as a matter of fact, I can sell you phone service in the UK. If you want to buy my phone service, I can sell you phone service. And mine will be better than theirs, especially on a 375 meg connection.
So, Ragged, if you don't own a mobile phone, what are you on? Are you on a computer?
Dude, I'm not talking about a mobile phone. I'm talking about a voice over IP desk phone. A hard phone. What some people would consider a hard line, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a tablet right now. Okay. You can do a voice call through your tablet, through your laptop, through an application on your smartphone. As long as you have data or internet connection, you can do a voice connection. Okay. I'm just rambling anyway, so dun, dun, dun. What else, Bill? What's going on? I'm complicated. Yeah. So am I. We're all complicated. It's complicated. Complicated.
Well,
All right, what else? I don't know. You got 11 minutes. We got 11 minutes. If we can't fill the air for 11 minutes, then I'll go ahead and bring it down.
oh,
Can we fill the air with 11 minutes of blather and blathing and blath?
yeah.
Ragged's a bot, so he just wants us to know that he's really a bot.
I wonder what happened to Huckleberry.
She left. Well, Wiz is not here, so She doesn't want to be when Wiz is not here. She has no use for us. That's always
That
been
makes
my
sense.
observation anyway.
Yeah, that's the way it looks.
Let's see who's over in the joint. Valentine's over there. Evie's over there. Canoes is still here, it says. Shadow Man.
Canoes is going to bed.
Okay.
I thought you were already in bed.
Yeah, he's in bed.
He's going to bed, but he's in bed. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna turn the phone off, or at least he's gonna try to turn the phone off.
Right.
But have a good evening, sir. Rest up. We'll see you tomorrow. Another viewer. Traps in there. Hmm.
What's Ice Poseidon?
I don't know. Ice beside YouTube. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Ragged seems to think Ice Poseidon is the shit, so we should probably go over there and poke around a little bit and see what's going on.
I got to hit the hay.
All righty, sir. We'll go ahead and turn it off then.
Yeah, I got to hit the hay. I wake up really, really dark 30.
Yeah, me too. But I got a tight morning in the morning, so I should be able to wrap it up and get this done.
I actually
Alrighty.
usually have more to say, but I'm actually kind of tired right now. My mind's not there.
There's always tomorrow.
Shadow Man,
Always tomorrow.
you have a good night, man.
Yep.
I'm glad.
Shadow
I'm
Man,
always glad to see it.
Ragged, Canoes, all the rest of you lurky McLurk headeds out there. Famous streamer from back in the day. Love the guy. Okay. Ice Poseidon. I'm gonna have to go eyeball that. All righty, boys and girls. Here we go. Have a wonderful evening.